You're just gonna hold your hands like.
I don't know what to do.
Here, roll your sleeve up a little bit. Oh, we rolling? Hey, Ben Crosswhite here, and welcome to the first video that is going to change your pickleball game dramatically for the better, of course. I have with me Andrew. He is the #1 contender in the world for pickleball. Not really, but he is really good. I promise he's really good. He's our pickleball pro here, and at Crosswhite Athletic Club. And he's going to show us some exercises that we go through, and I've given a few pros in the past, and really help for dynamic warm-ups and help for strengthening, conditioning, and even injury prevention of pickleball. So let's go through with it. Okay, so the first exercise here is a reverse lunge. It's obviously a lot of balance. You're doing an overhead pull with a very, very light band. I have a PVC pipe, but anything will work, a stick or a pull of some sort. As you notice, he's getting 90 degrees. Make sure I don't get hit with this pole. 90 degrees in both knees. Even as he comes up, his foot is going forward, his knee is coming high, the bar is coming in front of the knee, and as he steps back, he's not doing a false step in the middle, he's going straight to that back knee. Still keeping his back straight, he's hinging all on the hips and all on the knees. So there's a lot of flexion in the knees and the hip, but there's none in the back. So arms are going up, that's gonna help activate the rear delt. There's gonna be a lot of rear delt activation here, a lot of trapezius. There's going to be, some of the smaller muscle groups in the paraspinals up top as well. But this is a great activator to do before you're playing pickleball, and it's also good to do just to throw into your regular workout weekly. Doing it a couple times a week will help dramatically. Just keep your core tight, keep it going, Andrew, and steady breathing. All right, so this next exercise is a plank. It's a modified plank. Planking is one of the best things you can do for your core, your transverse abdominis, your shoulder girdle, your lower back. It's a great exercise to implement, but obviously doing what Andrew's doing is taking it a little bit further steps, making it a little tougher. So drop to your knees, Andrew, for a second. This is a modified version. It's great to start with. Obviously the harder version is what he started with originally, with his knees up. Make sure your lower back doesn't hyperextend too much. If it does and you start feeling pressure on that lower back, you are going to lift your hips up a little higher or go to your knees. You can see his hips are aligned, they're squared up to the ground, they're not rotated. He doesn't have any kind of anterior pelvic tilt where he's causing that hyperextension in the back. And his shoulder is right above the elbow. Go back up to your feet again, Andrew. Show them that hard version. Let's see if you can do it. So his core is tight, activated, shoulder above the elbow, and it's a push and pull, simple push-pull, but very slow. You can use this on turf, you can do kettlebell, you can do dumbbell, you can do a book, whatever it may be. Take a rest, Andrew. I know that's tough. We'll work on your conditioning later. But it's a great one to add in, so don't miss it. Okay, so this one obviously is another balancing act here. He's gonna work a lot of adductors. He is gonna work a lot on the right side. Vastus medialis obliques are gonna really kick in too for his knee's sake. You can see his knees starting to quiver and turn in and out a little bit. It's a great one to do just for core stability. But adding that press in there is gonna just compound that to the max. So it's a great one to throw in there to keep you more stable on the court. Go a little quicker on the press, Andrew, and a little slower coming back. Quick on the press. You can have a little rotation in the shoulders, but it shouldn't be dramatic. It's not a big, big rotation in that thoracic spine. It is just a short one, and he's pulling that arm back as he presses to help keep his balance as he's keeping that knee up. There you go. Core stays tight the entire time, and you want to breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way back. Good. Okay, so this is an active pigeon knee. If you're familiar with pigeon knee, that's great. That means that your piriformis is not too tight, probably, if you do this on a regular basis. It's a great exercise, or stretch, I should say, on the piriformis, which wraps around that sciatic nerve. If it's too tight and it gets over-tightened from either being weak, dormant, or just overused, it will press on that sciatic nerve, giving you a ridiculous pain down your leg, tingling numbness and sharp shooting down your leg sometimes. So it's a great one to do. We're obviously adding in an exercise to this, so you're pushing off that piriformis and the glute med to get back up. He's using his erectors as well. Don't shrug as much here, Andrew. Keep that shoulder down. You don't want to shrug and activate the traps. You want to hit the lats at the top. And you want 90 degrees in the knee. So if that is too hard to get your knee to the ground, you need to, or I should say the box, you need to put something under that knee so there's pressure off the knee. Because if you have too much pressure on the ankle and not enough on the knee, it will hurt the knee. So the other option there too is to have a bench. Do an incline bench. Your knee should be on the higher side of the bench. That will help, and the higher the incline, the easier it's gonna be. So as you can tell, he's turning his shoulders a little bit. Try to stay squared up. You wanna come straight over that leg and the ankle. You don't wanna rotate to the side, even though that may be pulling you to the side. Keep it steady and balanced and hinging mainly in that left hip. You're not rounding your back, you're not flexing your spine, and you're breathing out when you come up. Looks great. All right, last one. Okay, so the last exercise here is an adductor hamstring stretch. You're gonna hinge at the hip. Now this is gonna feel a lot more in the adductors right here. Sorry, Andrew. Pectineus, gracilis, adductor magnus, and sartorius. You didn't think I knew that, did you? So those are the 4 muscles that make up the adductors and the inner thigh. So it's great to stretch. Obviously, a dynamic warm-up is really, really good for before a tournament or before a really hard practice. And he's rotating the shoulders at the top, but he's still keeping his wrist and elbow stacked above his shoulder. So you can see he's leaning forward, bending that right knee, coming all the way back. Glute is gonna touch the heel. Go ahead and keep going, Andrew, keep it fluid. And his toes are pointing back towards him. So call that dorsiflexion. He's gonna have a better stretch in the hamstring there. And then as he drives up, he's rotating, breathing out at the top. Keep the core tight, obviously, neutral spine. You wanna turn your head with your shoulders and keep that neutral cervical spine there. And then obviously keep his core engaged the entire movement. So we're gonna get about 15 to 20 reps here, somewhat light. All right, guys, thanks for watching my video. I guarantee this will help your pickleball game, so implement these exercises into your routine weekly, every week. Make sure you do them for a warm-up and actual exercises. Like, subscribe, and tell me any feedback or any videos that you want me to do in the future. See you soon.